We're peeling back the clouds from runway risks to sky-high secrets. We're diving deep where most dare not to look. Aviation Scope, every Sunday at 7 p.m. only on Voice of the People TV. We don't just report, we reveal. We don't just ask, we uncover. Because when it comes to the skies, ignorance is turbulence. Aviation Scope, the sky isn't the limit, it's just the beginning.
Whether you've been with us through the ups and downs or just joined us for this festive season,
take a moment to cherish the moments you've made and look forward to making new ones on the horizon.
May this new year bring you everything good, everything prosperous.
As we bid farewell to the old year and welcome you to the new year,
may your heart be filled with joy and your home with laughter. And of course, may your spirit be filled with hope.
We'll be bringing you live updates, exciting performance, and inspiring stories throughout the day.
stay tuned for our special New Year's coverage and let's make this year unforgettable.
Thank you for making us a part of your celebration.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. But for us, the technical crew,
it's weird for technical people to be in front of camera, but I just want to say,
now this one they make me come outside every day. Anytime when they call me, I will rush come outside. We don't get holiday.
Our holiday is part of our daily routine and we've embraced it.
I must say the work is challenging, engaging and interesting.
We are all families here at VOP and with the technical crew.
For us, it's another day on the job.
But it's tough being away from family.
But the latter part of it is that after the work,
we will stay connected with video calls and messages. Merry Christmas.
On behalf of the technical crew, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas, and here we are, job continues.
To know the happenings in the maritime sector, join us on the program Maritime Frontiers on VOP TV as we discuss key areas in the maritime sector from aquaculture, maritime transportation, maritime labor regulation, oil and gas exploration, ferry and passenger insurance, marine pollution and prevention, port operations and lots more. Maritime Frontiers, exploring Nigeria's blue economy.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than...
Hello Nigeria, it's the first day of a new year and I wish you a happy new year. It's so good to have you join us. So tune in for another exciting episode of the Issues on Voice of the People television, where we bring you the most important and pressing issues shaping our nation today. I am your host, Nenna Ndomdioto. On today's episode of the Issues, we're examining the year 2025. The major events that shaped the nation. Join us as we break down the facts and provide context to help you stay informed. We'll take a break, and when we return, we'll dig deeper into these topics. Don't go away.
It's a season of love, a season of joy, a season to celebrate you because you deserve it. From all of us at Voice of the People TV, we only want to wish you a very merry, happy Christmas and a prosperous new year ahead.
You blessed the boy, the girl is fine, of vice and beauty. Hello everybody, my name is Mike Abdul. Keep watching VOP TV. God bless you real good.
Hi guys, my name is Abiodun, also known as Minister Abe. I just want you to keep watching VOP TV. God bless you.
Oretolu Amishe is a banger. My name is Yomi Olabisi Yomi Akpala. Keep watching VOP TV.
Babati Soro Medayo. Hey guys, what's up? How you all doing? They call me Ovisha Nelson One, your number one celebrity host, and you are watching Voice of the People Television, VOP. Stay tuned.
Uyos is my name. I am a friend of the microphone, Voice of the People TV. That name is unique, and the brand is very sweet. I like the packaging. Picture qualities, camera qualities, and then of course, the quality of human beings I see sometimes on your channel. I talk and get paid, and I look forward to being in your studios.
Oh yes, you are on to Voice of the People TV, live here in Benin City, the cradle of black civilization. What are you waiting for? Tune in, bro.
VOP TV.
Glad to have you back. You're still watching the issues on Voice of the People television. Let's dive straight into today's discussion. The year 2025 was indeed a pivotal year for Nigeria and Nigerians, with major reforms and happenings shaping different sectors of the country. Today, we'll be looking at Nigeria's economy, the reforms that shaped the country, and charting a way forward as we go further into the new year 2026. We will be taking a cursory look at the good, the bad, and the ugly. First, let's look at some of the major happenings that shaped our economy. There was a steady GDP as the gross domestic product grew steadily through 2025, reaching 4.23% in Q2 and 3.98% in third quarter. The Central Bank of Nigeria's CBN tightens monetary policy involving elevated interest rates contributed to a gradual decline in the annual inflation rate, which fell to 14.45% by November 2025 from a high of over 34% at the end of 2024. The global watchdog, Financial Action Task Force, removed Nigeria from its grey list, ending nearly 3 years of being tagged a destination for dirty money and signaling a boost for investors' confidence in the nation's economy. In June 2025, the president signed the tax reforms bill into law. The new laws are considered to be the most comprehensive overhaul of Nigeria's fiscal architecture in decades and are expected to improve revenue collection, enhance business environment, and attract both local and international investors. Another major event is the Dangote refinery's dominance in the downstream oil sector. The growing operational capacity of the Dangote refinery became a defining story, leading to friction with fuel importers and a price war that saw petrol prices at the pump fall in different instances. The refinery's domestic production significantly reduced Nigeria's reliance on fuel imports, easing pressure on foreign exchange demand. In October 2025, the World Bank reported that approximately 139 million Nigerians were living below the poverty line, which makes about 61% of the population. With all of these major events and ongoing reforms, many Nigerians saw the year 2025 as a difficult year as many grapple with harsh economic realities, and the tax reform proposals sparked confusion and backlash, with many Nigerians fearing increased economic strain. However, the president, in his New Year speech, says 2025 is a year where the nation sustained the momentum on its major reforms. He stated that the country had a fiscal reset and also recorded steady economic progress. The president said the focus in 2026 would be on consolidating the gains and continuing to build a resilient, sustainable, inclusive, and growth-oriented economy. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by two distinguished guests. Here in the studio, we have Frank Ayala, an economist, financial expert, and public affairs analyst. I don't know if I pronounce that your surname very well.
Very correct.
Okay. Glad to have you join us today.
Thank you for having me. Good evening.
Yes, sir. Good evening and Happy New Year to you.
Indeed.
Okay, we also have joining us virtually Comrade Destiny Enabulele. He is a former local government chairman, member of the coalition of civil society organizations, advocates, and a public affairs analyst. Glad to have you join us, Comrade.
Yeah, my ravishing sister, thank you very much.
Yeah. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year and the viewers at home.
Yes. Okay, so I would want to start with you. Looking at the economy in 2025 and all I've reeled out, and of course, all you know about Nigeria's economy, how would you review the economy, starting from the good, the bad, and the ugly? So just touch a little bit of what you think was the good, the bad, and the ugly, and then we'll dissect it from there.
My sister, let me salute my brother there at the studio. I must be very frank, because there is a saying that if elders, children will eat vulture, thinking that they are eating chicken. My sister, I don't know if you get me. Hello.
I can hear you.
You see, it is for us to move forward, to get out of this conundrum, this political and economic conundrum. We must endeavor to speak truth to power. That's the only way we'll get out of this, crisis, economic crisis. For me, there is nothing good about this present administration led by President Ahmed Bola Tinubu. I must be very frank. We must try to. We've gone past the era of massaging ego. I think none of us is a toddler. I don't think any of us is in any way eating frog, thinking that they are eating chicken. Having said that, if you look at from the very first statement, as if he was in a khaki the day of his swearing in, that fuel subsidy is gone. From that moment in very just now, Nigerians has been living in hell while on earth. That is a gospel truth. At any rate, at the very beginning, that been issue of his electionary campaign, he told Nigerians that his aim and purpose is to reduce the purchasing power of Nigerians, of the average Nigerians, and increase the tax net. You will agree with me that what we are experiencing, indeed, he has reduced our purchasing power and increased the tax net. And we cannot say for a fact that this, increasing of tax net, what he has translated, the good it has translated, I cannot say for a fact. I cannot point to it. That is for me, as a Nigerian. And again, that the issue of fuel subsidy, all the money saved from fuel subsidy, as we speak very just now, I don't know, maybe you might prove me wrong. I cannot say for a fact that this is what we have achieved from the savings of fuel subsidy. You can see we are at a dilemma. We are at a dilemma. That is a gospel truth. Although some Nigerians will say that it's too early because this is just the first day of the year. But there is a saying that it is the way you make your bed, that's the way you will lie on it. You see, it is very simple. Now that the election is very close to our doorsteps, you will agree with me that for the past a year and 6 months, because this I will say, well, just barely 8 months in office, when they started, coming up with 2027 election programs, thereby abandoning governance and going into re-election. So for me, Nigerians are at the receiving end of their maladministration. As I have said, what can we say that this savings from fuel subsidy, what have we achieved? The only thing that I have seen, and perhaps majority of Nigerians have seen, is just that they are spending like a drunken sailor. We talk about humility to the president. We thought he's behaving like a boy that I just find a new love. I remember some years back when I was in that stage. Yes, you see, if my mother talks to me, I only pay, then I spend like as if there is no tomorrow. There was no savings for tomorrow. I say, okay, this is my new love, hoping that. For me, you can see the buying of yachts, presidential jets. Then his Escalade, Escalade, they call it, is new. Before him, other presidents before him, they were using Mercedes-Benz. You see, I'm a little bit not very, in tune with this style of his governance, because I have said it, that this is how not to govern a country. Because, you see, Nigeria is evolving. It is an evolving state. It's a nation that is developing. One would have expected us that we play down on liabilities. We concentrate on assets. But today, yachts and buying a presidential jet and what have you. And you can see the way they are spending on the spending spree as if there will be no tomorrow. For us as a people, all of us must make sacrifice for this nation to move from stage 1 to stage 2. But from the ruling, permit me to speak my mind. From the ruling class, as it is very just now, they are not making any sacrifice. That is the gospel truth. And they are not willing to make sacrifice. And their policies, their economic policies, are anti-people, especially the downtrodden. You can see what we have seen not too long ago, the issue of implementation of taxes. How can you come with a first world taxation in a third world taxation in a third world country with a medieval infrastructure, and you expect us to get the needed results in such policies? Okay. It's not right. At least I have traveled around some developed countries in the world. As the countries evolve, they come up with taxes that will fit in that particular point in time. As the country evolves in terms of progress forward, they'll say, okay, let's come up with these taxes to be able to make some kind of checks and balance. You see, ours is not like that. Nigerians, we have made sacrifice. Since the inception of this country since 1960, let me just say 1960 days since independence, there has been exploration of our oil, mineral, and other minerals. What can we say that we've achieved from this civilian rule? That is my question to you this new year. Whatever you have seen that we've achieved as a people is during the military era. Not too long ago, the International Conference Center, my elder brother, Iyendeba of Abuja, used for certain billions in doing renovation. when the money that was used to erect that structure was not even up to that billions. The coastal roads, Calabar, Lagos, Calabar coastal roads, you can see how much that were marked for certain kilometers. It is outrageous. See, nobody should take Nigerians for a ride or for a fool. Nigerians, they are very, we have said it over and over, we are docile. And it's not our fault because we are operating a communal lifestyle. If, for instance, I don't have to eat, I can conveniently go to my sister in the studio. They say, I'm close to I'm in your area. And you will conveniently, welcome me and give me food or drinks to drink. Not too long ago, I visited Paris.
Okay.
Now, let me now with this thought. I visited Paris. There's a friend of mine that is okay. When I come, we'll see. Because he just got the job newly, I was unable to see a friend of mine for 2 weeks that I spent in Paris. So that is to tell you, it is individuality. If you don't work, you don't eat. If you don't work, you don't eat. So that is why it's not becoming a norm that an average Nigerian, they are suffocating by way of no place to work. Businesses, companies, industries, they are folding in Nigeria. They are moving to nearby country because of their very stringent tax policies. And not only that, insecurity, power failure. All of these are strangulating small and medium scale businesses. Even the bigger ones, they are leaving because it is no longer favorable to them.
Okay.
So for us as a people, we have seen insecurity at our various death steps, if not at the 11th hour of President Donald Trump of the United States of America at Christmas Day gift to Nigerians. Perhaps none of us would have been able to be talking to you at the studio.
Okay, I will come back to you.
Let me learn with this thought, man. Let me learn with this thought. My grandmother of blessed memory said something that what that means. In an atmosphere of rancor, my sister there, my journalist cannot go to the studio. The imam or the babalawo or the pastor, they cannot go to their place of worship where the atmosphere is not favorable. So that is why you see businesses and every other thing is in a comatose in this country, as we speak very just now. Thank you very much, and Happy New Year, Nigerians.
Thank you very much, Comrade. I would, of course, get back to you. Let me speak to our guest in the studio. Let me hear your view before I move on to other questions. I saw how you were smiling while Comrade was talking. So for you...
You know why I needed to smile? I think before we start looking at the good, the bad, and the ugly, let's at first create a context around why to now start looking at the good, the bad, and the ugly. I remember vividly in 2015, before Buhari took over, our inflation rate was 8.5%. Our exchange rate was 197 naira per dollar. Minimum wage was 18,000 naira. Then the cost of per liter of petrol was 87 naira. So I wanted us to create that background to see if this man have done anything fantastic that we need to praise him or not. To the APC people, the numbers are looking good because they are now beginning to praise themselves, forgetting where they took over the economy. If you divide 18,000 naira by 197 naira, you get close to about $100 per about $94 per minimum wage. Today, if you divide your $70 with 1,400, you have less than $40. So I wanted to create this context for us to know, okay, this is where we are. This is where we are taking on. If you look at the inflation they are celebrating today, before APC came aboard, what we are taught in school, that was called the CPI, Consumer Price Index. There are some products that are not there. But this government, because they are crooked, because they are cocky, they brought in some products to justify the number so that when you average it, it dropped. That's why you are getting this inflation. This inflation figure is coming from the rebasing they did. In 2014, early 2015, our GDP, when Jonathan did our rebasing for 2010, we had about $584 billion in circulations. Today we have $191 billion. I wanted to create this background so that we not say, okay, let's start fitting the good, the bad, and the ugly into those brackets. Now, for me, no matter what this government is doing, as long as we are not where they took us from in 2014, it's completely ugly. Then what make it more bad, if there's a language like that, is today this government is known for blatant disregard for rule of law. Whatever they are doing now, Nigerians are not seeing it. Fine. It's also out there that this is the first Christmas we've done so far since APC came on board that things never really skyrocketed, rather things were dropping. But is it really dropping to where they meant it? The answer is no. As we speak, your inflation is 14.45, which is about 600 basis points higher than where they met it. As we speak, your USD, our exchange rate is 1,445 naira per dollar, which is far above 197 they met it. As we speak, a liter of petrol, let's take MRS, which is the cheapest, 739, is over 500 naira above where they met it for. So, for me, if you look at the number as it stands today, looking at where APC took us from, it's not just ugly. It's over ugly. There's a language like that. So, then again, it's going to be worse from this year, looking at the tax reform, looking at the forged tax reform bill. Because they've not shown the template of implementations. We are not seeing it. Kyle Day is talking everywhere. The tax consultant they've gotten is talking everywhere, but nobody have told us this is the reporting template. It's also on the side talk that we have an agreement with France. Nobody's seen the MOU. It's also on a public notice that a senator from Sokoto, Dasuki by name, alleged that there was forgery. You see, it's a concern to some of us Nigerians. When a government that comes with so much baggage of certificate forgery, issue of drug issues, nobody knows the state of origin, nobody knows his date of birth, the school he graduated from. If you listen to Peter Obi yesterday, those issues is not going to be issue of pre-election matter. You can't say you finished from a college in 1970, that the college that came in 1982. So those issues are issues, whatever they are doing, and nobody's seen it. But if you want to measure between this Tinubu government and Buhari government, I will say that Tinubu have done well. Relatively. If you want to compare with Buhari government and compare with Tinubu government, because insecurity is with us. Thank God for Donald Trump, who God thought, okay, go and help these people. Because the guy, our president, was perplexed. He was really not doing it because he's confused. But be that as it may, the situation is more ugly. And it might be more ugly this year, looking at the implementation of the new, because truth is going to come to play. When we start implementation of this new task rule, there's going to be noise everywhere. People are going to be skeptical. People are not going to put their money in a long-time project. People are going to come with a short-time financial product because they are not too sure if this law is going to be sustainable. Then we are also going to an election year. There's going to be a lot of spending. When there's excess spending, then inflation becomes also very weak. If that happens, your dollar, your naira become weaker. If naira become weaker, you see the effect on the negative side.
Okay, I was actually going to go later on to the tax reform. But since you've mentioned it, before I ask other questions, let's dig deep into this tax reform. Because one of the things that Nance said, when so many persons have called, so many groups and bodies and organizations, and of course, individuals have called for the suspension of the tax laws owing to the alterations or the alleged alterations by Dasuki made. But one of the things that Nance said that really got to me when I read their statement was that many Nigerians, there's little or no knowledge about these tax reform laws, and which is actually true. Many, if you call like 5 persons on the street, many of them don't even know what this is all about. So for you, who is a financial expert, can you, I know that we don't have time for so much of this, but can you in your own little way help Nigerians understand what this tax laws is all about? And just let's understand it first before I now ask you, would this actually be beneficial to us as Nigerians?
Okay, now, then again, let's create a context for why there must be tax law. Tax It's our obligation as a citizen to the government of our country. Paying tax is not a crime. It's a good idea, provided that the tax collector, who is the government now, make good use and is accountable to the people that pay tax. You should want to tell us, so this is what I do with your tax, A, B, C, D. So if that is established, then the government for me has failed woefully on that side. If government have failed, so the citizen on their own, how do we also need to fail? The answer is no. Now, there must be a regulated template. There must be a template to govern. Because the road you walk, it is government that maintain it. Government carries so much responsibility. Let's not go too far. As we speak, I said the data have changed. We have over 380,000 Nigerian police. They are on salary. We have the Air Force, the Navy, the Civil Defense. They are all in salary. Even the government agencies, they are all being paid. So the government need money to also maintain those facilities. Then, that is why a tax, there must be a portion of my income that the government should take legitimately to also make up for their own expense. If that is established, you will now ask yourself, has the government been fair to the people? The answer is no. There is a controversy about this bill. Because when they send this bill to National Assembly in June, when we were told, when the North, I want to use the word North now, rejected the bill, they say because of the fact they don't want to drink beer, that's why they are. No, it was a lie. So this government is not transparent for people, because that's why they are not talking to you. You want to implement, you have started implementation. This morning, I wanted to recharge my electricity. The guy I bought for told me, say, sir, sorry, I need cash, I don't need transfer. What does that tell you? That means there's going to be more cash in circulation that will not be going through the banking system. If that happens, your interest rate will jump up, lending will jump up, because there's going to be cash, short supply in cash. So this is why people need to know the implication. This business, I do a business of maybe 1 million turnover for a month. What's going to be my tax obligation? And that's okay. Based on this, I need to expand my transaction. So paying tax is not a bad idea. Rather, for me, it's good. We need to support the government. It's our obligation. It's our civil rights. But the government need to also tell us what is the framework, not the one that just got one daily who talk on the screen. People in the street does not listen to your television. Recently, I understand they want to recruit about 20 celebrities to push the education of tax reform. Who are those people that Nigeria does not even have trust on? Why not print a bill? Print a bill, put it in all the banks, all the fast food, let people go there, go and pick a copy. Make it compulsory to university, to secondary school. Let them do the educations. They are not talking to us. We want to start implementation. And the people are saying, please, for now, because of the alleged forgery, suspend the implementations. I also believe we should suspend it to create a room for a wider consultations that have to come with the educations, sensitizations, and what you also need to do. Also tell us, if I'm making such LGR at the end of the month, we're going to be doing ABC, because what they told us in during subsidy is gone. That we need to save money to fix the road. The government have over 240,000 federal kilometer road, out of which over 150,000 is very bad. I came in from Akoko Edo on Saturday, go and look at the state of my car, and subsidy is gone. So those are the issues. Tax is not a bad idea, but what are they going to do? Are they going to be using it? Because if you really listen to Wale Soyinka recently, you have to complain. The whole person have to complain that the tolerance for the president's son is more than the Republic of Benin military force. So is that what they're going to be doing with our tax? As we speak now, our president is in France. You are starting a new program that the Nigerians think we don't want. You just out yesterday night, you are in France. That means you don't care. You don't care like what happened to Nigerian people. So that is the fear about their tax reform. Tax is not a bad idea. In short, we need to pay tax. If possible, we need to pay more. When you make more, you pay more. But are we seeing the effect of, because in my house, I have to pay for my security. I have to generate my power by myself. If I don't have it was even annoying recently. Say somebody in Enugu were proposing that we need to start paying tax for using generator. Very annoying. So those are the issue of the tax. The tax is not a bad idea. But what are they going to be doing with it? What are the education line? What are my rights within that tax framework? So that if I'm overtaxed, how did I complain? How did I get my reform? How did I get my concern addressed? So those are the issues that they are not talking to us.
Okay, I would still come back to you because I still have more questions. But let's go back to our virtual guest. Comrade, what are the issues for you, or you to say, that affected the economy in 2025 that must be gotten right or better if things must be improved?
I must be very frank. As I have said earlier, a man who drives his father's car is not entitled to speak in the council of men who owns bicycle. I don't know if you are following me. A man who drives his father's car is not entitled to speak in the council of men who owns bicycle. It's an African proverb. As I have said, from the one of this government, for me, I align with my brother there at the studio. It's fantastic to pay tax. But the question we must continue to ask, what have they done with our oil money? That is the question. We need to ask ourselves with our minerals, what have you? We ought not to be suffering as a people. Go to Dubai, go to Qatar, and other nations of the world. You see, when we are talking about tax, the issue of transparent is germane. It's very germane. Are we transparent? We are not transparent. Everything is done in secrecy, as if it's their own personal business. You see, the affairs of this country is not one man's business. You have said you raised some of the issue just now that they are trying to contact some social media influencers. What are the national orientation agencies? What are they doing? They must take this task before implementation to every doorstep. Every Nigerian must know how the T was being crossed, how the I was being dotted before you can go for implementation. At any rate, because it's not your personal estate, it's not your personal business. It is our business. So every one of us has a stake in it. That's my problem. You're asking me, how can they fix it? I don't think this present administration has the impetus, has the local standard to fix it, because they are bereft of transparency. They are not willing to be transparent to Nigerians. We talk about humility. They are not willing. Because you have seen, they don't adhere to rules and regulations. What we have seen in this government is a one-man show. Strong men, of which I have said this in this platform. That one of our biggest problems as a people and as a continent, as a country, is these weak institutions, not viable institutions, where we now have strong men not deciding. That's why you will see a president who will come out and tell you that whether you like it or not, that the implementation of the tax reforms must commence 1st of January. In a safe society, it has to call for an impeachment. By now, all Nigerians ought to have been in the streets and jettisoning New Year's celebration. In a safe society. It's not your family affair. It is our affair that affects you and I. My children are born. My grandchildren are born. You can't come out and tell me, where are the one paying you? You are only managing this on our behalf. You can't come out and tell me that whether we like it or not, the implementation will start January 1 to 2026. This is an aberration. It is an error. We must endeavor to see. I've said it. I've told Nigerians. We must call a spade a spade a spade. This our docility is not helping us. You see, our docility encourages tyranny. Our docility encourages tyranny, like what we are currently breeding in this country. I'm sorry to use this word. Today is 1st of January. When I was coming, I said I was going to be calm. But with the situation of things, it's usually a fool that will say what befell his neighbor. It's only a fool. Because we've forgotten that what affects the nose must leave the eyes shedding tears. That is the gospel truth. For me, I'm very concerned about my neighbor. Because the late sage, Obafemi Awolowo once said it. Children that people refuse to educate will be our greatest nightmare tomorrow.
That's where we are.
What are we seeing today? That's exactly what we are. That's where we are. That's where we are as a people. There are no policy, programs that are being implemented to the fullest. There are policies from us on left, right, center. Look at what is currently happening in some subnational governments. Like my dear state, I'm happy that my brother there is from Edo State. You can see the talks, they've taken over the state. They are harassing people, and you want investors to come to such a state and invest. It's not done. This is the way you make your bed. That's the way you will lie on it. Look at the insecurity in this country. Look at the deplorable state of roads in this country, whether federal or state roads. Our roads are now becoming den of kidnappers, which is now affecting the common Nigerian pocket. You go to our various airports. You know what it takes to travel from to take a plane from Benin to Abuja. Do you know what it takes to take a plane from Benin to Abuja, to and fro? A friend of mine told me it was about 400 or something. For a joint that's not up to 1 hour, unless maximum 1 hour. My sister, we must look at the economic, crisis that all these things are breeding. We must look at it. And again, the people that are managing the government that are not serious, that are not sincere. What we have there is a glorified houseboy and ladies. If you go back to the section of this present dispensation from 1999, to Yaradua, to Jonathan, you look at that they got some technocrats, some Nigerians that are doing well in outside the country to help us fix this country. And they achieved, they were gradually moving to a path of economic recovery before this APC led government came aboard. And now look at where we are. It's in a reverse. What they are concerned with, it is how to enrich their personal and their family. And they are turning governance into a family affairs, where the first lady will say is the mother of the country. It's not my mother. I don't know if you guys' mother at the studio. When it's going to use our taxpayers' money, wasting our taxpayers' money. The son, same thing. I'm happy that my brother at the studio there said something about Professor Wole Soyinka, referring to the son. That the president should not bother to call the army. He should just contact Sheikh Tinubu to go quell whatever crisis that try to raise up its ugly heads in the neighboring states. What does that tell us? It's a nation that we are not sincere. It's a nation that, yes, we are making mockery of the exercise.
Okay.
Let me now with this thought. You see, when I'm a student of history, at the time they said how Europe underdeveloped Africa by Walter Rodney. But with this present reality staring us in the face, I will now say how our ruining elites underdeveloped Nigeria. I think that in the near before the next election, I think Nigerians should go into the research and come out. We have seen how some Nigerians are sponsoring Boko Haram. They are raising army in some subnational governments, like what is happening in Edo State. See, we must like to call a spade instead of fighting for.
Thank you. Thank you, comrade. Thank you for your passionate responses. I will come back to you. Let me come back to the studio. I still want to stay on this tax reform thing because I feel like it's very important. One of the fears, this tax reform or the implementation of these tax laws is a big fear that many Nigerians have. And I feel like we can just, try to allay their fears no matter how little through this program. So I want to know, these reforms, is it really about, or these new tax laws, are they more about increasing taxes or are they about improving how taxes are collected and managed? That's one question. Second question is, who is actually supposed to pay more? Because you made mention of something when you're overtaxed. Is there a room for that? And then are there people, I think one of the things that the government said is low income earners might not pay tax. So but just give us a background or like overview sort of.
One thing I want us to also take away from this place. Trusting this government is a serious risk. Trusting Tinubu-led government is a serious risk. And I have my reason for this. A man that built Lagos as a claim cannot stay in Lagos hospital for a single headache. You want to trust such people? Which state is from our president? Our president from which state? He says from Lagos State. His cousin, Oyetola Boyega of Osun State, is his cousin. He says 73 years of age. His first daughter is about 62 years. Trusting Tinubu, our president, is a serious risk for you. It's the highest risk, it's a high risk. If that is established, you agree with me that situation is going to get more ugly. Because when Buhari started borrowing in 2015, we were shouting as an economist. Because we know the only way to pay back is for us to increase the tax. That's where we are. So this task they want to start implementing now is not to give us good life. It's to enable them pay back the money they borrowed that nobody can account for. They cannot account for it. As we speak, we have, if not up to 150 trillion naira, both local and international. To service, if you look at your budget, you see the position they made to service those debts. So where's the money coming from? If you look at custom report that say they meet up their target for last year about 12 trillion, that is a major revenue agency. So the purpose of them implementing this tax is for them to pay back the loan they borrowed that nobody know how the condition for that loan. One of the things I know that Buhari once borrowed $1.2 billion to construct a rail track to Niger. We are going to pay for it. So the purpose, that is why this president is pushing for that tax. Because he wants lied to us that subsidy is going to make use of the money we save from subsidy to fix the road. Today, the road is getting more worse. It's getting... Please, travel from Songo to Abeokuta. When you come back, minus the effect on the car, you see the effect on the driver. So, that's why they are saying the poor will pay lesser, the rich will pay higher. Can I also ask a question? If I see Wale Edu, the coordinator for economy, the lady that the turnover, he has a pure water business. He go to buy pure water and he want to sell at the traffic. At the end of the day, he maybe use 20,000 naira to start. At the end of the year, he must have done a turnover about over 10 million naira. Because it's not his money. He go to buy to sell. He said you're going to charge him about 15, 16, 21%. When you are taxing, you're going to be seeing those effects in the SOPay account. You're going to be seeing the effect. If you buy a pure water of 20,000 naira, maybe by the time you sell it, maybe you make 24,000 naira. You take it back to the bank. You take it tomorrow. You take it to the bank. Your profit there might not be up to 10%. But when you want to run the tax application, by end of year, you are talking of 21%. And you say the poor is going to be so. The effect of this tax is going to be more on the poor. How? If you are taxing the production, they're going to move the cost of that production, that tax,
into what they are selling.
If you're going to tax people for using, the implication is big. Just we cannot trust this government. They've come to lie to us. What they told us was because of VAT, and they don't want to pay VAT, and they are not the one drinking alcohol. That was the lie they were telling them. No, there are so many underlying effects. Now, there's another one. If I sell my property, the property, maybe I took a loan from the bank. I took a loan. Most properties on mortgage. I took a loan from the bank to buy property. And I'm paying for my salary. Meanwhile, you are taxing my salary. And I'm still paying for that mortgage. At the end of the day, that's okay. I finished paying for the mortgage. I want to sell my property. So I was going to pay 30%. And you have taxed my income. This is another thing. Most Nigerians have 2 or 3 accounts. You pay me salary into my first bank account, for instance. I say, okay, or maybe I don't trust on certain things in some certain platform. Let me move it to my wife where we could get access to it. When I'm moving from this account to account, you are taxing this account. Meanwhile, you have taxed my salary. So this is the insincerity of the government. That's what we are saying. Give us a template on, in case this happens, how do I get it redressed? They are not talking about it. The only lie Oyedele is telling the whole world is, and the poor is not going to pay, the poor is not going to pay. Those are no. Give me a template, a reporting template. If I collect my salary for this, and let's say my salary is 1 million, they come out your tax. And that's okay. The other 850,000, let me take it to a bank that is accessible to me, maybe close to my house. You say because it's an inflow, you still be taxing it. What happened to that? I want to not take that same tax and I want to let me go and fix my car. The cab man will say I should pay VAT. Meanwhile, I've paid, that's already 2 tax now. I pay for my salary, I took it to other account, I pay. I'm not buying product for it. Maybe I took my family out for a breakfast, I'll pay VAT. And the person that sold to me will take it to the bank, he pay on that tax. So This is where, if you look at World Bank, for October, they say 139 million Nigerians is living below poverty line. What is poverty line? This poverty line. Global standard. If you live below $2 a day, you are poor. Our civil servant at minimum wage of $70,000. Did they earn to $2 a day? The answer is no. $2 is about $2 is 2,800 naira. If you tax him by, so this is the issue. The issue is this government is not honest. They came to power through lying. They want to sustain that power through lying, and they want us to believe that they are doing the best for us. So for me, Mr. Tinubu, sir, I think Nigerians is tired of you. You need to think of how better to let Nigerians to understand and believe what you are doing. As of today, he's doing nothing. Wow. The only thing we see, he go to medical checkup, he come back after 2 weeks, he tired, because really, nature by age, yes, at that point. So that's my submission on that.
Well, because of time, we need to round this off. But I would need you to, before I come to you, I'll go to our virtual guest. You know, what's your final thought? And then I will come to you. Let me hear from you, Comrade. Your final thought before I come back to our guest in the studio, Mr. Ayala. Please, in like one sentence, if that's possible.
Yeah, my lovely sister. I appreciate you, and I align with the speaker there at the studio. You see, there is a saying that a madman is never embarrassed by his mental condition. I don't know if you are getting me. He's never embarrassed by his mental health as that of the family. You see, we will find ourselves at a point where every Nigerian must look at ourselves and look at this government. You must first of all tell us what you have achieved with the God-given mineral resources before you cannot begin to tax the people. For us as a people, we have not seen any results from the God-given minerals. Now you want to begin to tax our hard-earned money.
Comrade, I'll need to come in here.
No, excuse me, ma. Let me land with this thought of Professor Abiodun Alao. When there was a book he wrote on natural endowment, the tragedy of natural endowment. Chapter 7, the opening chapter of the chapter 7, he said, and I quote, that at creation, when we were trying to describe Angola, that at creation, when other countries of the world see the abundant blessings that God blessed Angola, other nations of the world, they were mad and begin to ask God, why did you bless this country like this? And God asked them, and God told them, wait till you see their leaders. Perhaps that is where we find ourselves. Our leaders are the cause. When I say not cause, they are not blessing, they are cause to Nigerians.
Wow.
We must begin to address it. We must begin to look at them by the face. That's why I told Nigerians some time ago that as 2027 election draws near, as we all go out to gym, we must set aside 1 hour to practice madness in preparation for 2027.
Oh, that's where we'll call it a day. Please, thank you very much, Comrade. Thank you. Let me quickly, I don't know if I can, just in one sentence, Mr. Ayala, just in one sentence, please.
This is my own personal opinion. Trusting Tinubu and APC is a serious risk. And it's at your own risk. Trusting any data that this government roll out is a serious risk. And we have our reason for this, because you cannot trust this government for any reason. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And that's all we have for today's episode. Comrade, thank you very much for being a part of the show. Thank you all the way from Benin. And thank you very much, Mr. Ayala, for coming. You know, I had to drag you away from your family on a public holiday. Thank you very much, gentlemen. And that's all we have for today's episode of The Issues. We looked at the major events in the economy in 2025. Tomorrow, as we take a look at a major event in the political space in 2025. Thank you for being a part of this. Don't forget to tune in next time for more in-depth analysis and discussion. Follow us on social media to stay up to date on the latest news and insight. Until next time, stay informed. I am Nnenna Ndomdioto. This has been The Issues on Voice of the People Television, where the future faces forward. Please don't forget to stay tuned for with Vivian and Ikechukwu by 8 p.m. Don't go away.
Thank you.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more.